You know? Oh, what's the big deal? I mean, you teach this. Yeah, we do.
We'll get started. That's all we got here was Spain.
It snowed there. It's the other house.
I didn't say.
Didn't snow at all.
Oh, that was good.
Yeah, I just, let's say.
Well, I'm glad you guys are here. I'm gonna share an experience I had over the weekend. But before I share that, I'm gonna talk about some things that are gonna tie in with it. So I know Cindy probably remembers this because she's been with me for a long, long time. But in the original Half Moon Yoga Studio over at Aspen Grove, we had it was actually 3 different teachers who would teach vinyasa in Japanese. Because if you think about, we have Nissan, we have Bridgestone, you know, there's a few companies here in Nashville where Japanese families will come over for a couple years and live and work, and then they'll go back. And I knew this was happening in Franklin when I had taken over the studio. And there was this sweet Japanese woman who was attending my classes. She told me that she was a certified yoga teacher and she missed teaching. And I was like, do you want to start a class here? And my son was going to a preschool and there were several Japanese families there. So I knew this was a thing. And I was like, well, we could put it on the schedule and you could reach out to your friends and let's just try it. And so, you know, I paid her under the table. She didn't have a work visa. Just paid her in cash. And I was like, I want to offer this for the community. You know, I want to offer this for the people so that they have a yoga place where they can come to and it's in their language. And actually, it was a pretty popular class. You know, there was at least 8 people that would come to that class. And then after the first teacher went back to Japan, another teacher came up and was like, I would like to take over the class. I was like, okay, we'll just keep it going. And it's unfortunate because during that time frame, I really wasn't a big player on social media. I don't even have contact with these teachers. I don't even remember their last names. But there was one teacher, and I'm pretty sure her name was Yukio. And she offered me a massage before she went back to Japan. She was like, I'm so appreciative that you've been able to like let us to use your space. She was like, I want to give you a massage. And it's some Japanese technique. And I was like, great, you know. And so I met her at the studio. She put me on the massage table and I had no idea what this massage is called, but she basically would shake my body. It wasn't the massage like what we think of. It wasn't kneading the muscles or anything. She just shook me, starting at my shoulder, going down my arm. She shook my torso. She shook my legs. You guys, it was one of the best body treatments I've ever had. I got up from that table and I felt so loose. And so it's just like I had a deep tissue massage. It was fantastic. And anyway, thanks her for it. She gifted me a massage stick, something else. It's a Japanese tool. It's fantastic. If you want to Google massage stick and buy one. Anyway, it gets me to Reiki. So once I started administering Reiki, and Reiki's just energy work, I've noticed with people on the table, sometimes they'll get like, you know, twitches. And what it is, it's either tension releasing their body or it's something kind of loosening up from the nervous system. And it's normal. It's a normal thing. So over the weekend, on Saturday, I had this very unusual experience. I subbed a class, I went home, I was gonna be hanging out with my guy the rest of the day. We've been so busy with our day reconnect. And I started going into almost like convulsions. Like my whole body was shaking. Wasn't having a seizure. I was totally conscious, totally aware. I wasn't scared. And he was like, "Are you okay? Like, what's going on?" I'm like, "I have no idea. This is involuntary. I'm just going with it." And so while I was going through that, I was getting visions. I was smelling all kinds of smells, from roses to fish to the ocean to, like, you know how it gets really musty outside? There's like all these smells coming. It was a total whack, weird experience. And I had all these emotions coming up, from extreme sorrow and sadness to bursting out laughing to extreme joy. It was very, very strange. And when I was asking myself what is going on here, I was realizing I was having a purge. I was going through a release. And I was releasing trauma. That's my only analysis for it, is I was releasing trauma. And I was able to have these conversations with him and share with him what was going on. And if you look at animals or even dogs, when they get stressed out, they shake. And there are new techniques coming up in science where shaking is a part of releasing trapped tension and trauma in the body. They've discovered shaking is also really good for bringing synovial fluid into the joints. So we're going to be doing a little bit of shaking today, because that's where the influence is coming from. When we are just living our daily lives, we don't even realize how much stress we're packing on. And anything that we're dealing with in life is making deposits in the body, just like you would make deposits into your bank account. And the body stores and holds all this memory and all this experience and all this information. So when that's occurring, when we're stressed, just think about if you wake up late one morning and you oversleep. It sets the day off in the wrong way, right? Because then you're feeling rushed. And then you're having to get your breakfast and get dressed, and you're probably dealing with deadlines, and then you're dealing with rush hour traffic, or you may be dealing with kids, or you may be dealing with moody teenagers, or, your phone's blowing up, with all these messages, and then you've got the bills that you need to pay, and it's just like, it can be an overload. And we don't always get out the practices where we get to have the release. And yoga is great for that. Breath work is great for that. And meditation is great for that. But sometimes we don't get enough of that to combat life and what we're holding inside. So today, that's our theme. I want us to let go of some of the trapped tension and trauma we've been holding in the body. When we are overstressed or when we're traumatized, it shuts down a big part of our brain. Typically, the neocortex is going, the limbic system is going, the brainstem is going. But when we're overstressed or when we're dealing with some sort of trauma, the neocortex falls out. And it's just the limbic system and the brainstem. And that puts us into fight, flight, or freeze. And that can happen due to a lot of things, like overstress, overbusy, dealing with parents, right? The role reversal and having to take care of all their affairs. I mean, that can be traumatic. Car accidents, family members that are dealing with terminal illnesses, death, moves, career changes. I mean, the pandemics, right? The list goes on and on. So that's our theme for today. I do want to show you one movement because you're going to be on your back. The rest of the things I think you'll get pretty easily. But this one here, we're going to be doing where we're using the feet and we're rocking the spine up and down on the mat, back and forth, okay? Another one will have the legs and feet in the air. We're going to be shaking like a June bug on its back in the summertime, okay? So let's go ahead and take a reclined position. And as you take a reclined position, check to see if your legs can extend and feet fan apart. And if for whatever reason this doesn't feel good to your low back, you're welcome to bend your knees. And go ahead and relax your arms beside you or your hands on your belly, whatever feels intuitive. And just take a moment to drop within your body, to close the lids of the eyes, and to notice how you feel from the inside out. Feel the security of the ground underneath your body. Find your sense of safety and comfort through the power of the breath. And as you're opening up your breath, I want you to see if you can count on your inhale to see if you arrive to 4, 5, 6, or 7. And then whatever number you arrive to, try to double that count as you breathe out. If you don't feel like counting, you can always measure it just through your own inner awareness. Breathing in a certain degree and breathing out. In a longer duration, because these longer exhalations help us to reset by calming the nervous system and breaking up the hyperactivity of the mind. This type of breath work is stress relieving. There's a famous German philosopher who said, there is more wisdom in your body than in your deepest philosophy. I want you to continue taking deep breaths, but you're going to inhale, stretch your arms overhead and point your toes forward, creating kind of a morning stretch, and feel how the back sways up and away from the ground. And then walk your feet over to the right corner of the mat, and then equally swerve your upper body over to the right. I know this is a yin pose called banana asana, and we're not going to hold it as long as we would a yin pose. Beginning the practice by opening the side body, which in turn helps to open up the breath. Notice the sensation you're experiencing and attempt to keep the shoulder blades, sits bones, and ankles at rest on the floor. We're opening up the left side, which is the lunar panel, or what's often associated with the feminine side of the body. On your next in breath, let's go ahead and bring ourselves out of that shape But as you exhale, walk it over to the left, swerving the upper body to the left, making this crescent moon shape. Noticing the difference between the two sides. Noticing the various pockets where you experience more sensation. And opening up the breath of life. Try to fully inflate your lungs as you breathe in. Completely exhausting them as you breathe out. On your next inhale, let's go ahead and return out of that position. And we'll bring the arms beside us and walk the feet back so the knees are bent. Now this is where we're going to go into that rocking motion that I demonstrated. So it's utilizing your feet. As you push the feet into the floor, that's going to make your upper body rock back and forth, up and down your mat. With this rocking motion, keep going, keep going. Find a rhythm with it. This rhythmic motion is good for helping open up the spinal fluid. So if you think about it, sometimes our circulation can get kinks in the arteries. Sometimes our energetic channels can get kinks energetically and emotionally. Just like a garden hose can get a kink where the water doesn't flow as abundantly. Do 3, 2, 1. All right, now we're gonna pick the feet off the floor and the arms are gonna lift in midair. And this is where you're gonna start shaking your legs, your arms, your hands, your feet. And just gaze up at the ceiling or close the eyes. No one's looking at you right now. And do it with the intention of trying to break up, to process, or to completely release and let go of any trapped stress, tension, or trauma. There's no right or wrong to it. Just shimmy and shake and shimmy. 3, 2, 1. Now cup a hold of your shins and pull the knees in towards your side ribs. And there's a wide opening between your thighs. Tree frog or stirrup pose. Now bring your hands to the tops of your knees and you're going to start almost like a hula hoop action, circling the knees, circling around on your low back and hips, several times one way, several times the other way. And then go ahead and release the feet to the floor. Bring the soles of the feet to connect. In recline butterfly. Let your arms hang down beside you. The palms can be flipped open or down. Relaxing the inner and outer thighs, softening the buttocks, and letting gravity assist. So there are different things that have come about over the last several years or decades that psychologists now use One of those is tapping, which we'll do at the end of the practice. But another technique is TRE. And we're gonna do just a few of those TRE exercises today to mix in with our yoga. And one of those practices starts in this position. Recline butterfly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press the outer edges of the feet into the floor. And we're gonna barely lift the knees an inch or two. Holding, keep breathing. And now elevate the knees another inch or two. And you may possibly experience a few tremors or quivers somewhere in the lower body. You may not. And then elevate the knees another inch or two. And then again. And now let the knees flop open. Good. Now we're gonna push down through the feet and you're gonna tuck and lift the buttocks away from the floor like you would in bridge, except your feet are in butterfly. So your knees are still open, your feet are still together, you're tucking the tailbone, you're squeezing your glute muscles, just like you would be lifting up in Setu Bandhasana. Keep squeezing the glutes, keep squeezing the glutes, keep yourself elevated, take another deep breath. And then exhale, lower your seat back down. All right, we're gonna do that same exercise now with the buttocks to the floor, elevating the knees an inch or two. Lift the knees up another inch or two. Another inch or two. And again. And we're gonna do that sequence one more time. Now let the knees flop open. All right, pressurize the feet, tuck and lift the tailbone away from the floor. This is toning and strengthening to the butt muscles, and you're gonna get some work in your low back as well. Keep holding and breathing, keep yourself lifted. Couple more breaths. You may even get a few shimmies and quivers and tremors here while you're tucking and holding. All right, now let's release it back down, soften the muscles. And now elevate your knees an inch or two. Another inch or two. Another inch or two. And one more inch or two. Good, now draw the knees all the way together and hug them both in at the same time, Apanasana, the wind release pose. And affirming here as you hold. I release my scattered tension to rise up and away into the sky. I release any trapped trauma that my body is holding to release up and away into the sky. All right, let's roll over to one side of the body, and we're gonna come all the way up to stand. When you come up to stand, we're gonna do a couple more TRE exercises and then we'll get into the yogic flow. So, I don't know, can everyone see me if I'm here? We're gonna have the left foot in front and we're gonna step the right foot back and we're on the ball of the foot for now. That color is so pretty. And I like the color. All right, inhale, we're gonna lift the left heel. And then exhale, lower. We're doing it 7 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And if anything, it's working the calf muscles. All right, step the right foot a little bit more back, not a terrible amount. And take your hands to your hips. Your front knee is lunging. And then you're gonna bend the back knee, and then you're gonna push back up. Good, bending the knee, pushing back up. So it's almost like you're gonna sit down in a chair and then bring it back. I think that was 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Good, step the right foot up, step the left foot just a baby step back. And when you're ready, the calf stretches first. Inhale, right heel lifts. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale, release. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. All right. Step the left foot back a little bit more. Hands to the hips. Drop down. And build up. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Good. Step it forward and then stand on one leg and you're going to shake it out. And then you're going to stand on that leg, balance, and shake the other one out. And if you need a wall, you can hold on to a wall. All right, now that we've been shaking the legs, you're going to shake the hands, shake the arms, shimmy the shoulders, shimmy the hips. So there really is something too that Taylor Swift song, Shake It Off, right? All right, just shaking it all off. All right, we're gonna stand with the feet apart. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, hinge from your hips instead of your waist. And once you know you're bowing from the proper place, let your arms hang free. Don't worry if the hands touch the floor. It's not about trying to reach the toes, but we're going to take 3 deep breaths here. You can breathe in and out through the nose, or you can breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Then you're going to sway the upper body over to your left side. Hanging towards the left leg. Take 3 more deep breaths. Even though we do this in yoga, this is also a part of the TRE program. And then semicircle over to the right leg. 3 deep breaths here. And center yourself again between the legs. Take one last breath. Then take your hands to your hips And slowly lead with the back of your heart to come up to stands. You're gonna bring the feet a little closer together and you're gonna have a soft, soft bend in the knees. And we're gonna do the twisting Kriya. So this twisting Kriya, if you feel like you need a wider stance, take the feet wider. But the reason why we wanna keep soft knees is because when we're doing this turn, you'll feel the hips move. And if you're gonna allow the hips to move, you need to allow there to be some mobility in the knees. The arms are really loose and limp. Your head can turn as you spin. And remember, twists are so good for purification. It helps to purify the lungs, so it cleanses our respiratory system. It helps to remove any lactic acid from the muscles that are getting involved. It helps the lymphatic system, it helps the endocrine system, regulating hormones, it helps digestion, and it can give us a boost of energy. So if you're ever traveling and driving a long distance, and you find that you're starting to fall asleep at the wheel, but you must keep going, I would suggest stopping the car, getting out, doing this Kriya before you start driving again. Also really great if you're, I don't know, if anybody's a nurse or has to work a late shift, and if you start feeling fatigued and all the paperwork starts, you know, messing with your eyes, do a twisting Kriya. Same thing if you're sitting at your desk for a long period, getting mental fatigue. All right, now slow down your pace. When you slow down your pace, stand in the anatomical position, palms facing outward, and you might feel slightly lightheaded with that blood rush. Keep your eyes open. It will settle pretty quickly. And then we're going to start our yogic flow. Before we do that, if you have props in front of your mat, you're going to want to move them to the side. Even blocks, take them wider. It'll make sense when we get there. And then you're going to line up your feet side by side. Bring your hands to prayer position at your heart. And as you inhale, circle the arms up overhead. Drill the feet down. Make sure you're not tucking your tailbone. Feel your core engagement. And then exhale, bring your hands together and bow forward into Uttanasana. Try to keep your legs elongated and structured if you can. Sometimes we need to bend the knees, but it depends on your experience. It depends on your low back. Inhale, slide your hands up your shins. Reach out through the crown of your head and look out with your eyes. And then exhale, gently return back in, Uttanasana. Inhale, step back, plank. Now pause and plank a moment and push the ground away from you with your hands. And when you do that, you're going to feel your upper back muscles fire up. But keep your head up and look forward and out past your mat. You want your arms stacked with precision, bone, joint stacking, thighs puffing up towards the sky. When you're ready, rock forward, lower down to Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, rise to upward facing dog. And when you come to upward facing dog, curl the toes and roll back to downward facing dog. When you arrive at downward facing dog, plug those palms down into the floor, stretch back away from your wrists. Elongate through the underside of the arms, open up the pits of the arms. Create space in your ribs, space in between each vertebra, and don't worry if the legs are straight or not. Your head is down, you're looking back towards your feet, taking deep yogic breaths. All right, from here, we're going to inhale, establish the left foot in between the hands. Hop the back foot slightly forward, push the heel down, and slowly come up to Virabhadrasana 1. When you come up to Virabhadrasana 1, the front knee's lunging and stacked over the ankle. If it strains your low back to square the hips, you can slightly turn to the right. So don't feel like you have to force it if your SI joint is unhappy. Now reach the fingertips skyward, and as you exhale, you're gonna hang back, open your arms and heart. Inhale, free up the arms, reach them up, exhale, hands to prayer, and lean a degree forward. You don't have to go very far. Bury down that back heel, feel those calf muscles stretching. Inhale, come back up, warrior one. Exhale, hang back, open heart. Inhale, line up the arms again. Exhale, hands to prayer, lean forward in a diagonal line. Good, inhale, Virabhadrasana one more set. Exhale, back bending. Inhale, restructure the vertebrae. Exhale, hands to heart and lean forward. All right, we're gonna change it up. Inhale, arms extend, warrior one. And then exhale, bring them down in front of the chest. Try to keep your lower body stationed as is, and then twist to the right. And then exhale, twist to the left. So keep the stability of the foundation and just gracefully move from your waist up. One more, inhale, twist right. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, come back, warrior one. Exhale, hands down. Step back, plank. Wiggle the right toes to join your left. Exhale, rock forward, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, stretch the spine as you lift to up dog. Exhale, use your core strength to roll back to down dog. Now hold and breathe. Forward folds and inversions are also great ways to calm the nervous system and then calm and free up the mind. Inhale, right foot's gonna step ahead. Exhale, hop the back foot just a baby step forward, plant it down, and rise up, warrior one. Again, checking in with the SI joints here on this side. You might be able to square more with one foot in front versus the other. All right, exhale, we're gonna hang back. Inhale, we'll re-erect the spine. Exhale, hands to prayer. Come down in a diagonal line. Good, inhale, extend the arms. Exhale, goddess arms, look up. Inhale, restructure. Exhale, hands to prayer and bow forward. All right, one more set. Flow with breath. Inhale, Virabhadrasana one. Exhale, arms in front of the chest. All right, stabilize your lower body. Press down firmly to the mound of that front big toe. As you inhale, twist left. And exhale, twist right. You're going to be more limited to the right because of the positioning of the lower body. So don't try to force it past your edge. We'll do one more. Good, inhale, return, Virabhadrasana one. Exhale, hands plant down. Step back, plank. Build some strength as you lower down into that low push-up. Inhale, glide through up dog. Exhale, rock and roll back down dog. Hold and breathe. Notice if you're holding any additional tension in your face. It's a place where we express a lot of our feelings and emotion. See if it can become more neutral now. Inhale, we're going to bring the feet to the top of the mat, however you want to arrive the spine. Lifting halfway up when you do. And then exhale, close back in, magnetizing the head and the heart a little lower towards the knees or shins. Inhale, root down to rise up. And exhale, hands come down to heart. All right, we're gonna keep it rolling. Inhale, those things coming. Exhale, Uttanasana. In and halfway up. Out and drape down. Inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down, chaturanga, elbows squeeze to the side ribs. Inhale, build up, long neck. Exhale, down dog. All right, this time we're gonna step forward with the right foot. So let your right foot come all the way up in between the hands. You can give yourself a help there with your hands. Turn and plant your back foot. Now remember, we didn't hop it forward, so now we're gonna go more into a warrior two. But when we come up through warrior two, we're gonna continue to lift the right arm and hang the left hand down. So it's more like a side warrior. And on the exhale, we're gonna come down to your form of side angle. Inhale, side warrior. Exhale, side angle. Continue that one more round, power of three. Again, the lower body stays stable. And we're moving gracefully with the upper body. All right, this time when you come up, straighten the right leg, turn the toes of each foot towards the corners of your mat. Splay the arms out like the pose of Da Vinci. And when you're ready, you're gonna circle the arms down towards your right knee as you lunge into it. And then sweep them over to the left as you lunge into that knee. Circle the arms overhead. Take it off to the right. Sweep it to the left. Inhale up above. Again to the right. Moving and coasting to the left. Inhaling up. Good. This time when you come back down towards the right foot, spin the feet. Come into that lunge, like you're about to sprint off your mat, but step into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to down dog. Take a few deep breaths here. Especially if your heart's sped up, your breath has the ability to slow it back down. Inhale, left foot's gonna step through to the top. Swivel the back heel to the mat. Inhale, passing through warrior two, flipping the left hand, elevating that arm, maybe gazing underneath. Good, exhale into side angle. You can do it your own expression. Good, inhale, backing up. And then exhale, coasting back down. Power of three here, inhaling up. Exhaling side angle. And then this time when you inhale, come up. Again, that Da Vinci pose. Make sure the feet are turned out towards the corners of the room or your mat. And we're gonna take the arms over towards the left knee as you lunge into it. And then keep yourself low as you come over to the right. Circle the arms up above, off to the left, back to the right. You've got it. Next time you come over to the left foot, turn the feet, be in that lunge. Step into your plank. Last vinyasa for here. We'll meet in downward facing dog. See if you can come back to that control of the breath where you're breathing in a certain degree. And breathing out for a double duration. So that calmness can radiate within each and every cell and fiber of your being. Inhale, let's bring the feet to the top of the mat. Open up. Exhale, close the gap. Inhale to the top, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, Samastiti. All right, we got one more sun sal. Inhale, arms reach. Exhale, fold in. In and build halfway up. Shine the heart forward and then exhale, melt it down and then. Inhale, plank. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. And exhale, Adho Mukha. All right, we're going to change up the flow here again. And we'll be stepping forward off the mat. You've done it with me before. Let's go ahead and give ourselves a little assistance by inhale, lifting the left leg halfway up. Ekapada, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now swing that foot through in between the hands. Sometimes that helps get the foot more forward. If not, you can leave it out. Turn and plant your back foot. Take the arms up, warrior two. All right, you're going to turn your thumbs up. All right, we're going to bring that back hand around in front. It's helpful if you lean forward, kind of like what we did in warrior one earlier, because we're going to lift the back foot and elevate the knee. Try to ensure that you're not lifting the knee so much that you're tucking the tailbone. Stay long and strong on the left leg. All right, inhale, extend your right leg, Padangusthasana D. Exhale, come forward, plant the foot down. Inhale, let your arms lift up. Crescent lunge. Exhale, it's helpful to bring the hands down, lean forward, push off the front foot, and stand back on your mat. Good. Inhale, step back with your right foot. Expand your arms, same side. We're going to do 3 of these. Turn your thumbs up. Bring the right arm around. Lean forward. Put your weight in your front foot to balance and to lift your right knee. Use your core. Set your gaze at one spot. Inhale, extend the right leg. Exhale, step forward, ground the foot. Inhale, lift your arms. Breathe. Exhale, hands come down. Push off the front foot and step back. Good. It's weird to step back, isn't it? But isn't that how life is? We get all this progression and then boom, you slide back. Right foot back. Virabhadrasana 2. So let the physical expression be like the metaphor of life. Flip your thumbs up, right hand around, lean into it, pick up the back foot, balance and breathe here. Let your shoulders soften. Inhale, Padangusthasana D. Good, step forward. Inhale, arms float up. Hands come together. Lean in. Inhale, step back. Ha. Okay. Now we get the other side. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold in. In and halfway up. Out and lower down. In and step back plank. Out and lower down chaturanga. In and lift to your heart opening pose. Out and fold back. Breathe. Inhale, let's lift the right leg. Ekapada. Adho Mukha Svanasana. When you're ready, swing it through. Give yourself a helping hand if need be. Turn and plant your back foot. Bring it up, warrior two. Find your stance here first. And then flip your hands. Left arm's gonna come around. Lean into it. And you may have to stand down on the left foot before you lift the knee. That's okay. One side may be easier than the other. Extend the left. Step it through. Inhale, crescent. Hands down, lean in. Step it back. All right, step back again. Create warrior two. Turn your hands. Left arm around in front, lean into that front foot. Peel the back foot off the floor. Step it down if you need to in between. I'm struggling more on this side. Left foot out. It's my masculine side. Left foot down. Inhale, arms up. Good, hands down. Spring back. One more time. Left foot back. Warrior two. Thumbs up. Left hand pulls around. Come forward. Padangusthasana A. Inhale, Padangusthasana D. Come forward, plant the foot. Inhale, arms up. It's okay, you can hang out if you want to. Yeah, don't worry about it. We know you and you're a friendly face. Hands down. Spring back. All right. All right, hold steady for a moment, close the lids of the eyes. And affirm mentally within, salutations to the sun, to the awakening light within, and to the dawning of a higher state of consciousness in all beings. All right, we're not doing a sun sound, but it's going to appear that way. Okay, inhale, arms up. Exhale, this time we're swan diving down. Be expansive with your wings as you fold. Inhale, step back down, dog. From downward facing dog, it's okay if you want to lift the left leg first. It's okay if you want to leave it out. Okay, either way. We're going to bring that left shin just behind the hands. And we're going to walk or slide the right leg a little further back behind us. Okay, make sure that left knee is not facing the very front of the room, and absolutely follow Cindy and Mary's cue. And Elaine's cue if you need to go on your back. There's always alternatives. Okay, for those of us going to do the regular pigeon, I want you to come down to forearms. And when you come down to your forearms, we're going to approach this differently. We're not going all the way down to the face yet. We're on the forearms for a purpose, because we're going to give a little gentle rocking back and forth in the hips, side to side. If that aggravates your knee whatsoever, don't do it. And then you're going to use your forearms and be a little bit more dynamic with it, where you're pushing into one arm, leaning to the opposite side, and just shifting back and forth. So I learned this maneuver from Corinne, who works at the Ivy House in West Nashville. She used to work for Deepak Chopra. She's been trained in several styles of yoga, one of those being Swarupa yoga. All right, now come to stillness. And if you want to bow out more to the brow, you can. If you need to back it up and be on straight arms, you can. And if you feel the need to flip to your back to join the others, you may. But anyway, when I learned that little sequence with Corinne, she has been living and working with a local physician. And they've been designing certain exercises to shift into the parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is when we're stressed and experiencing the trauma, the fight, flight, freeze response. When we get triggered that way, we can have a separation between the head and the heart, or the mind and the body. And one of the best things that we can turn to regain that composure and connection is the breath. So put all your emphasis now into your breath. And those of you on your back, if you want to stay on your back to switch sides, that's fine. We're going to transfer through down dog since that's the way we entered into pigeon here. So those in pigeon, we're going to plant the palms, curl the back toes, return to downward facing dog. And before we do anything else, just feel that flush. Feel that release. We were getting a little bloodletting in our circulation. But there was also a concentration of energy coming into that hip. All right, your choice whether or not you want to lift the right leg up. Swing that shin through behind your wrists. Slide or walk the left foot back behind you. And then we're going to come down to the forearms. And those of you on your back, you can switch sides if you haven't already. And those of us here, we're going to do that little rocking. It's a little bit more minor in this first segment, just shifting the hips side to side. And then rocking with your forearms. It's a little bit more dramatic. And now return to stillness, and you can fold down, or you can lift higher if need be. There's more wisdom in your body than in your deepest philosophy. Those of you on your back, you're going to stay on your back. And those of us coming up from pigeon, we're going to lean to the right hip in order to bring the left foot around. And you guys on your back don't have to do the core work. But our feet are more forward of the knees, the hands are going to flip open, and we're going to scoop in through the belly, puff into the kidneys, and we're going to slowly roll it down to the spine. But once you roll back, flip your hands down and walk your feet so the heels are lined up under your knees. So remember earlier we were doing that supine butterfly lifting like bridge. Now we're just gonna lift the bridge. So press down through the soles of the feet, tuck and lift the buttocks away from the ground. But this time the knees stay closer together. The hamstrings are getting a charge. Now press down through your outer arms and shoulders, maybe even slightly tuck the shoulders under to build the chest more towards your chin. Now, I don't feel like going into wheel, but if you feel like going into wheel, you can by flipping the hands over the shoulders and straightening the arms so that you're lifting up into that really big bold back bend. Hold it for as long as you want. But when you're ready to come out of that big back bend, you can tuck the chin to the chest, lower it back to bridge, and then we'll all come down from bridge. Catching your knees, hugging them in. Now I want you to go ahead and sprawl out for Shavasana. That was our final inversion. And check in with your body, because if you want the bolster to line up under your thighs and knees, plug it in. If you want to be in a restorative back bend, you can line it up underneath your back. As you take the time to settle into your body to see if any place needs any support, you can then close your eyes. And think of how much we're often doing. See if you can abide in the state of being. Your breath fall into a more natural state. Scanning through your body, letting go. Any contraction, muscular activity. Equally letting go of each thought that wants to run through the mind. Third, please begin to exit the pose that you've been resigning. Come up to take a seat on the bolster. I took you guys over, can you tell? I had another exercise for you, but since we went a little over, I'm going to go ahead and do the practice. And I may roll it over to next week, okay? Bring your hands to prayer. Close the lids of the eyes. And just say it internally and within. I choose to release any trapped trauma away from my mind and body. I trust the wisdom of my mind and body. Safe in my mind and body. Shanti, shanti, shanti.